has always been like this? Because this is an intense way of living life.
I was on a plane, that period I was working a lot. So it was 5 a.m. in the plane, and then I was like, what the am I doing here?
I feel like there has been an event that
It was dry, like a piston can move into a dry cylinder. Yes, it can, but then it will burn.
what was missing?
How can I live my life as best? So this is what I want to be known for, and living a life at best, because we are like, what should I do? No, it's not easy at all. We want to live an adventurous life, a life where you have a sense of ferocity. I want a Lamborghini, I want to buy a penthouse. Like, why? What's the energy behind it? And if you go deep in that analysis, everything comes naturally, magically aligned.
This isn't your usual podcast. In every episode, I sit down with remarkable people and dig into their lives. We talk about their wins, but we don't stop there. We ask the big questions. Why are they succeeding? What drives them when no one's watching? Where does that fire come from? If you ever felt like you're meant for more, these conversations will give you insights and tools you can start using today to make your dreams come true. I'm Alin Ionescu, and this is the Leader's Lifebook. Open it, take notes, and start writing your own chapter. Dear Costa, my dear Costa, welcome. Thank you for being here.
My dear Alin, good morning. It's a pleasure of being here with you.
My pleasure. I was waiting this moment for a long time. We know each other since for 3 years right now, and we had a lot of beautiful conversation. I was there in Dubai also through video calls. So it came a moment when I thought, okay, this podcast has to start with someone that I truly relate to and that I get really inspired from you. So here we are. We have a few questions to go through. We have a story to tell, and this story will start with who is Costantino, because you're a lot of things. You are a father, first of all, father of 3 beautiful kids. You're a business owner, a coach, a writer. You have a podcast as well. Sometimes you're a dancer, theater also. You do also theater, so you do a lot of stuff. I think the first thing to know about you is, who is Costantino Spagnoletti?
Wow, that's a big question to start with.
Easy start.
Who is Costantino Spagnoletti? I'm trying my best to live my life and potentially give the tools to the people around me to live the life at best. That's what I'm trying my best to do. Nothing more than that. So everything that I do daily, monthly, throughout the year is with this intention. How can I live my life is best? Something has been said to me recently by a lady. I asked, how life is treating you? And she said, life is lifing. Okay?
Oh.
Life is lifing. I don't know what it means exactly, but I love the concept. I loved the concept while she said of evolution, growth, evolution, and living a life at best. Now, best doesn't mean anything. Best is for us. What best means for us, whatever that is. So explore that sense of adventure. Try new things. This is Costantino Spagnoletti, and then all the things that you said is somehow connected to it.
And how is the best life for Costantino Spagnoletti?
So there are a few things that I consider best for me. Best for me means aligned, and aligned in terms of value, in terms of action, in terms of purpose, in terms of goals. Now, what that means aligned for me, I have 3-4 values that I somehow always grab is my anchor. Those are my anchors. And I know that some of those can sound fluffy, but I love it because somehow this sense of fluffiness as well gives me peace of mind. So kindness, what that means, also here, everybody got his own connection with the sense of kindness, but is treating others fairly, understand their needs, understand their priority, not putting yourself at the center, but just be part of a larger thing. That to me is kindness. Contentment, it's connected with gratitude. Every day is a gift. I was actually speaking with my kids last day in the car about this, about the concept of the past, the present, and the future. And if you look at the word itself, present is a gift. Okay. So I give you a present in English. It means I give you a gift. So the present and the present is the gift. So alignment with the contentment with what it is, which is different from happiness and joy that usually have an higher vibration, but it's more being breathing in, looking around. Wow, it's another day. How can I make it better? But I'm happy. I'm content. Happy again. It's a different word. I'm content with what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So kindness, contentment, and then I have a few dynamics, energy that aligns me. That is adventure, exploration, opportunity, growth. I need to feel, maybe can sound a bit too much, but a warrior, but a kind warrior,
Right.
not the warrior that fights, but the warrior that somehow goes around and discover things
An
in the jungle.
explorer warrior.
An explorer war, that sense of, being there, passionate about life.
Okay, very nice. One thing that comes out to my mind when I was listening to you is, has always been like this, or something changed in your life and you changed your perspective? Because this is a real, intense and very present way of living life, very conscious. And I feel like there has been like an event or maybe a moment in your life that brought you to the consciousness that you have right now.
For sure, for sure. It was not like, no, there are phases of life. So you build kind of your mental model till you are 7, 8 years old. And obviously this mental model is a combination of things. Who you are, a bit of luck, genetics, a bit of luck, DNA, proximity, cultural aspect. So there are different ingredients that shapes in a way your mental models. So then you go through the path, you 7, 8 years, you develop your mental model, then you go through life. And now something happened. Now, when you start going into the grown-up society, if we can call it that way, then is where the world shift perspectives and you are like lost. So in order to avoid this sense of being lost, then you follow a path. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this path, how aligned is with your life? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Somehow it can be better, somehow it can be worse. But everyone lives his own kind of path to alignment. So now, to me, it was not always like that. So when I was a kid, I was clear, and there was maybe luck, I don't know, or something that I saw on TV. I wanted to be an engineer, full stop. So till
Okay.
3, 4 years, I was, when I start actually talking and say the few words, somehow the word science fascinated me because there was that sense that I discovered later of exploration, of adventures, or whatever was science. Then 5, 6, maybe something with F1. I don't know. My grandfather was looking at sports and TV. Yeah. Then I said engineer, and then I became an engineer. Actually, a mechanical
Yeah. Yeah.
engineer. Then I started my professional career, and throughout shy of 15 years of corporate career is where I got almost, well, I am also there. I have a sense of contentment. I'm not saying that there was bad or good, but
Mm-hmm.
throughout this, well, shy of 15 years career, at a certain point I said, is this really aligned on what I was thinking when I was a kid, aligned with my dream, with my passion, with the sense? And then that something happened. I was, it's written as well. This is what I wrote. That was like the trigger event. There were things building up, but the trigger event, I was on a plane. That period, I was working a lot with Kuwait,
Okay.
So I was traveling like maybe daily. Oh, by the way, 3, 4 times a week. Plane, early morning plane. It was easier. Instead of moving there, at least I could come back and stay with the kids a bit. But I was going there, and I was in this plane, obviously early morning because the day was the professional day. So it was 5 a.m. in the plane, and then I was like, "What the fudge am I doing?
Yeah.
Am I doing here?" And then was the trigger moment. That is where it shift, and then the story develops.
And how do you felt in that trigger moment, seeing that maybe your dream from when you were a kid kinda shifted or kinda turned it into a reality that you wasn't expecting?
It was dry. This is the words that come to my mind while I'm saying it was dry. Um, so maybe it's a connection as well with the mechanical engineer. But if you feel like a piston can move into a dry cylinder, yes, it can. So there is a movement between two things, but then it will burn because it needs a sense, it needs grease, it needs oil, it needs kind of, and those are all the ingredients of life that makes the piston work properly for a longer time. Um, so I would say it was dry. It was working. It was working fine. Gave me financial freedom. It was good. Look from the outside. Okay, it was like done, but it was dry for me.
What was missing?
I didn't know. I didn't know. Was missing that grease, that oil, that component of pleasure, of leisure, of what's called fulfillment that everybody says, but nobody understands deeply in the body what fulfillment is for yourself. So there was missing that pleasure component going through life and waking up. The Sunday, it was missing the Sunday test. You know, the Sunday test, what it
Yeah,
is?
yeah. But
So
please,
yeah. So the Sunday test is that it's 7 p.m. Sunday night. Are you excited or you feel like shit? Tomorrow is Monday.
yeah, the Sunday scaries. Yeah, yeah,
The Sunday scary test. I was missing that. That test. It was like, oh shit! Again, tomorrow Monday, I need to go there and I need to see the same faces and doing what I don't want to do, and that should be just because this is the way it is, apparently.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy because nowadays I see a lot of people, also my friends, like changing lives, having this wake up call in which they see each other, they see themselves in the mirror, and they understand that something is not going in the direction they hoped for. So it's a hard part. But as you say, you have to go through the pain of not being in alignment with yourself, not being fulfilled, to maybe understand the fulfillment that you need, maybe understand that, yeah, to test stuff in life. What do you think?
I feel that like subconsciously we know because I see is a trend.
Hmm.
For sure is a trend. Is a beautiful trend. I would like to see more of this trend of people speaking about it, like what it is. What's my life? I'm just something that is in a clog, or do I have a purpose? Okay, is one of the questions that is that since the beginning where the religion and spirituality give an answer for certain period. Um, so it's a movie. It's a beautiful movement, and I would love to see. I would love to see more of that. And it's not easy. I feel that also here we need to shift the mental model, the paradigm about easy.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, it's easy for you, or I don't know, but that's not easy. No, no, that's usually what comes to our mind. Like now, I need to change. That's easy for you, or no, it's not easy at all. But you need to shift the paradigm. Do we want to live an easy life, or do we want to live life? That's the question that I ask myself, because I came to a conclusion that I don't want to live an easy life. I want to live life. And the shift of paradigm here is, for example, when I was working in the corporate, my retirement plan, it was like, I have this date, I want to go on a beach, drinking caipirinha and doing nothing the whole day. Okay.
Yeah,
But then when you shift that and you're doing something that is aligned, you like, that mental model completely disappeared now today from my life. I don't want to go on a beach and drink caipirinha. That would be boring. It would be easy. It would be annoying. And I don't want to live that life. And I feel it's important for each of one to realize that we don't have to live an easy life. We want to live an adventurous life, a life where you have a sense of ferocity, that you
yeah,
want to go to the next day and do something.
yeah. It comes to me to like shifting the paradigm, as you say, shifting the mindset and the mental model of life should be easy. As you said initially, life is just life, is lifing. So even if you have to face some challenges every now and then, it's just life. And coming with a mental model that life should be easy, when you face a challenge, you just get punched in the face, and you live it like it's the end of the world. And yeah, you live it like a proper struggle, and that's where it comes, like the all the pain of living.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah. 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 This
Totally.
pain, this pressure, sometimes our body as well is informing us. But I feel that because we are also overstimulated by
Mm-hmm.
everything and anything, we don't have that space and time to listen. Like, do you feel pressure on what you're doing on your body physically? Don't ignore it. If there is something there, be fascinated. Don't judge, but be fascinated about it.
Yeah. What do you do to feel your body, to feel the
Mm,
moments, and to
mm.
understand the situations you're
Yeah.
in?
Yeah. I came like I did few experiments. I did few trials. I was not, I was not a routine person because I felt routine a bit boring. Um, and at a certain point, routine is, if is conscious, if it is done properly, is not boring at all, and is giving energy, is giving time, is giving space. So first thing, what do you do? I try my best. Also, this concept to me is as well really important. Try your best at that moment, but be honest with yourself. Okay, don't bullshit yourself saying I'm trying my best and then you're lazy. Don't do anything. Try your best means, am I putting all the effort that I can at that moment? So try your best. Routine. So to me, routine means waking up early. This is a fantastic book as well that changed my mental model and my perspective, that has been gifted by my wife. 5 a.m. Club. It's a beautiful
And
story.
you gifted it to me. I remember. I
Yeah,
remember.
it's a beautiful story. And so routine to me means waking up early, breath work, meditation, and then ice bath and sauna. Now, the order of this I can change throughout the week. So also there, because I need, as I said, routine can be boring to me. So I try to have a routine that also have some change into it. I'm not kind of a fanatic, okay? And I try to have this routine. I need to put this component throughout my day. That gives me that space to listen to my body.
Yeah, those are like your anchors. And one thing that I always felt and experienced is that in this kind of books, there are a lot of people, a lot of professionals that advise us on what type of routine to have, like with 20 steps routine. But I think, or at least what worked for me was testing one single thing at a time, not like putting 50 things on my morning. Like it took me away 3 hours to just start the day. And when I start the day after 3 hours, I get like upset because I spent 3 hours and I didn't start the work yet. So one thing that I want to say regarding this is like testing a lot. And I know you did it as well, because we have to understand what types of things works for us. And yeah, just try and start easy. Also use the kindness, as you said before.
Right. Be kind. First thing, be kind with yourself, then with others.
Yeah.
And then here I connect with a couple of things. Testing, A/B testing, and we are techno as well. We
Yeah.
are working for a technique from a techno company. So A/B testing is important because it actually lets you understand what resonates with you the most. I would say here, to start with, I connect with the power of mini habits. This is
Mm.
so important. Also
Tell
here,
me more.
change completely my perspective and the mental program on working there. We want to have six packs, okay?
Yeah.
Or we want to go on an adventure trip in the jungle. Now, if we see this is huge, and maybe you are not in shape, you never did an exercise, and you never been in a jungle. Now, if you see this as a goal, you're gonna be overwhelmed. So then you start your day, you try something, and then you find the goal so far that makes you disaligned, disengage, disconnect. You don't reach anything. It becomes just promises with yourself, and you fail.
Yeah.
Uh, Power of mini habit. For example, the ice bath. I'm doing the most of my routine is with the things that I hate, not the things that I like. Okay. So I do a bit of kettlebell, weightlifting. I hate, but still it's giving me a lot of understanding. But anyhow, start small. For example, ice bath. I hate cold. Like I need to cover myself like wintertime. I live in a place likely where before going into the ice bath, before actually starting the practice of the ice bath, I was simply doing the shower and shifting to the cold temperature water for 1 second. So that's the power of mini habit. Do one thing so small per day that if you don't do it, you feel embarrassed with yourself. So you want to do weightlift, you want to do exercise, do one push-up per day for the next 30 days. Now, if you don't find the time, the capacity, the capability to do one push-up a day, I'm sorry, there is something that we need to discuss. You will always find that 1 second, wherever you are, even if you are in office, you close in a room and you do one push-up. It's 1 second. What it does for your brain? It creates. Now there are a lot of science, and I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm not a scientist, but there are a lot of science. So I can read papers by background, but I'm not academically expert into some. But there are a lot of scientific papers now about neuroplasticity. Okay, so how the brain creates new synapses, so new connection between neurons based on your habits and your behaviors more than your habits. So what it does, that mini habits, is creating new, like physical, I'm not speaking about physical connection between neurons to create a behavior and to create an habit. Now, after 30 days that you do this exercise, this push-up, one push-up a day, your brain is like, why you're not doing that? It's like, it's become an automatism, and we want automatism. So after 30 days, you have to have that minute. You need to have that. So if you speak with people that goes to the gym since years, or they do exercise, you feel the same kind of, I need to go. It's like, what that means, your body builds a mental model that is saying, I need that. So then it becomes easier to reach a goal, because then you want to do an ice bath. After 30 days, the brain is saying, where is the cold? And then you jump into the cold, and then you experience the ice bath. So power of mini habits.
Hey, quick pause. If you're finding value in this conversation, I have a favor to ask you. Please share this episode with someone who needs it. Even a single share will make an incredible impact. You will help someone and help us grow, reach more leaders, and bring you even better stories to learn from. Thanks for your support. Now let's get back to it.
That's a great one. There are a lot of books. I remember Atomic Habits, right, from James Clear. I think he talks about it. And it's also nice what you said, that you don't like cold. So you're doing ice bath, and I did a bunch with you, and you are there for like minutes and minutes with very, very cold water, and you don't like cold exposure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really fascinating, because it tells you that also for me, I'm understanding it as the mind, it's really working so hard to let you live an easy life and not the life you want, or the life itself.
You touched a point, super points, this one, because as you said, we are survivalist. Like any species surviving, we are survivalist. You put us in any environment, we have to survive. That's it. You put in corporate, you build politics, because you need to survive. You need to survive. That we cannot do, is an unconscious process. So the body is doing the best, not to not allow you to have your best life, but to protect you from the danger. And there are also here plenty of books. Maybe you can put at the end of the podcast list of books. But the monkey brain is saying, you are in the jungle, and if you do something which puts you in a dangerous spot, a lion is going to attack you. That's where we are built for, to survive. But now the things changed So the lion is no more there on the corner, especially for the people living in a city. But the brain, they have still the DNA is built into the genetic is still built into it that you need to survive. So everything is like, why you want to go into the cold water? Like, you're crazy?
Yeah.
Like, why? You're going to die. Now, for sure, why? Because if you were jumping in a cold lake a few years ago, you could have died. But now we are in a controlled environment with a controlled room temperature, with a controlled water temperature, surrounded by people with technology. So that risk is mitigated. There is always a risk, but that risk is mitigated. But the question is, but why you want to do it? Like, if you don't like it, why you want to do it?
Yeah.
And that's the question that we should ask ourselves, why we are doing things. And that's even before you want to build an habit, even before you want to reach a goal. Like, I want a Lamborghini. I want to buy a penthouse. Like, why? What's the energy behind it? What's that is going to give you? So be fascinated first by, that's why I always start my coaching sessions with values and purpose. What it is, there is not a definition. Well, there are a few definitions. Everybody can say whatever they want. But what's your values and what's your purpose? And if you go deep in that analysis, everything comes naturally, magically aligned.
Wow. Love it. Love it. How it started, your coaching career, let's put it this way. You woke up one day and you said, okay, I want this.
So it's actually connected with the fact that I left the corporate. So I was building up this energy of enough. I need to change. I was start reading it. And the first book that I read that is always here with me, I'll show you. Is this.
Yeah. Coaching for performance. Okay.
So this was, I have all the notes and the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So this was one of the first books that I read in terms of coaching. The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, also there, are a keystone to me to be read. But how the coaching started, it is, so I was shifting from corporate to entrepreneurship. I never was my family is not, my parents were both working in a government body back in Italy. My family, a couple of uncles, they were kind of real estate entrepreneur, but not big. They were just building places and stuff. So not a family of entrepreneurs, but really curious about, I've now that I did it, is that sense of adventure that actually excites me of entrepreneurship. You don't know what's next. You need to reinvent the wheel every day. That's what excites me. By the way, coaching, left the corp. In that time, I started speaking. I did a few conversations with the business coach of my wife. My wife is working for a large corporate, and at that time they had a business coaching service. So I had a chat with him, and he said, look, if you like the subject, try to investigate more with this company that is called the Coactive Training Institute. They are based out in the States. Not sure if you are in Dubai. I was in Dubai at that time. I'm still in Dubai, but just say it. And then the magic, because they were in Dubai. I went there. I did the first kind of teaser taste, what they call the fundamental. So it's just a weekend foundation. And I was like, wow, that was another wow moment. What happens in that room, it's, to me, maybe someone else can have a different opinion and experience, but to me, it was extraordinary. It was a sense of liberation, was a sense of liberation.
Liberation from what?
From the chain, the traps that I was into. I felt like chained into what is supposed to be. A good job, a good family, good career, good salary, and I was trapped. Which for someone can be a golden cage. It is kind of a golden cage. I'm not saying that it's bad. Okay. I'm not necessarily saying that it was bad. I had enough. It's not bad. It gave me a lot. So super grateful and content. But there I was trapped. And gives me the freedom, this perspective of saying, oh, so I'm not the only one that feels that, first. And two, there are possibilities to do different things. And that was so liberating. And then, cut the story short, I went through the whole fudge program. programs they have. I invested. That was lucky there. Well, not lucky because I built that, but I had the opportunity to spend a lot of money and to take the risk by spending a lot of money into that coaching side. I did all programs. I went 1 year in Spain to do a leadership program. Not a year, but was a week every 2 months traveling. So I built this. This, how can I say? I don't want to use the word passion, but is
a calling.
Is a coma. Is, how can I say? Is solid. Okay. Is also there is another anchor. Is solid. I can move around with my boat, but I have the anchor.
Wow, that's nice. That's really nice. So you started thanks to your wife's coaching from a company, from a big corporate.
Yeah. The irony of
The irony of life. Yeah. That's nice. And one question that I always had for you, and I wanted to ask you is, if you could give your younger self a one piece of advice, what would it be? Because you are doing a lot of stuff. You change your life. We can say that you change your life from a corporate life to an entrepreneur. You're a father. Let's not forget that, please. You're a father of 3, a husband. For me, it seems it's not easy, as we say, to keep all these things in place and make them work. So, what you gonna say to your younger self?
I would simply say, and I'm thinking, while you ask me this, I would simply say, you're good. You're enough. Because also there, when I grew up, and I feel it's not something, it's kind of when we grow up, and when I grow up, you are always like this saboteur that we all have of saying you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? And especially in societies, and I'm coming from a society which is a lot judging. Everybody is judging, like strongly. We judge everything and everybody every day. It's like, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? Just shut up and do what is supposed to be done from you. And that's what we are built for. That's why the survival is. So what I would say to my younger self is just, you know what? You're right. You're good. Believe in yourself, but truly, because you are on the right path and you know what's the right path is for you. And I will tell this not only to me, but all the people that, are out there. Believe in you. That's the only thing you need. This is the most important things you need to do any change, any shift, any transformation, whatever. You are good enough. That's it.
Have you ever had moments in your life in which you didn't felt this way?
Sure. Absolutely. Not only one. A lot. Schools and through university, through work. Every single phases of my life, there is this little voice in the back there saying, you're not good enough. You should do something differently. How the people perceive you is more important than who you are. What you do is more important than who you are. Nobody praises us for who we are. Everybody praises us for what we do. Everybody judges us for what we do. Nobody praises us for who we are. I feel it's, I don't know how to define it. It's built in cultural, well, obviously religion is speaking, cultural background is speaking about this. But I felt like multiple times, like through school.
Yeah.
Always this sense of you're not good enough. You can do more. Why you don't do more? Why you don't study more? Why you don't work more? Why you don't? I don't know. Yeah.
And it was coming from yourself?
I don't know. I would say it's a combination of things, because for sure I had saboteurs. Again, those are people that you do things and you listen to the little voices saying, you want to do a company? You don't know even where to start, you stupid. So something is for sure is internal, and a big component is external factor and proximity. Now, I'll tell you this story. I'll tell
Yes,
you
please.
this joke and this story. I hope that my cousin is going to listen to this, because when we were kids, and when I say kids, I mean maybe elementary school, we were maybe 7, 8 years old. So we were actually, playing, and it was Antonio is called. It's,
Okay.
that was my cousin. Antonio, by the way, beautiful family. I love. I still enjoy a lot being with them when I can. And we're thinking about, at a certain point, we were actually going in the direction of how we can get in touch with girls. Okay.
Okay.
So we were 8, 9, yeah, that kind of. So we were starting thinking about our sexual identity and how we can connect with girls. So our school, it was there. And then we said, I have an idea. We should create a platform. I didn't even know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Where we can connect through this something with the people of close to our house, where I can send a message and we can stuff, whatever. We were 8, 9 years old. And it was like, sure, we should do this now. There was something at that time is where internet connection was just a talk. It was not even, it was a modem, even before modem. It was the 56, very slow connect, but it was even before that. So then we spoke with our cousin, the bigger cousin, Costantino. I'm Costantino, but we have 4 Costantino.
Yeah. Classic Italian, south of Italy family.
Exactly. No, I speak with them, and they said, yeah, now there is this new technology. So basically, we were speaking about Facebook. We were speaking about something like that. Now, why I'm saying this? Because at that time, when we talk about it, it was not even an idea. It was just, two little child wanted to connect with the other sex and create a connection. So at that time, we spoke and said, nah, impossible. You cannot do that. Blah, 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 blah. You're stupid. You cannot. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have the competency. But you are bombarded by life. And then he was like, hey, you know what? You're right. What I'm talking about. I'm stupid. I'm young. I don't know where to start. Now, if that was in a different place in the world, where around you, where my parents, where my cousins, where my family, they were a family of entrepreneurs, and with a bit more of knowledge into the subject, maybe they could have said, you have a nice idea. Why you don't do 1, 2, 3? Instead of saying, what are you talking about, you stupid little kid? It would have been like, interesting. Why you don't do 1, 2, 3? This is what I'm trying to do with my kids. They come up with ideas like every day. Every day they come up with ideas. And I'm like, which problem are you solving here? How you can validate this idea? How you can sell it? So having that exposure to how to transform your idea can be, and that's a component of luck. Nothing we can do. If my father was, by the time impossible because he's more or less same age, if my father was Mark Zuckerberg or I don't know, Steve Jobs, obviously, if you live in a family of musicians, most probably you're gonna play something, even if it's not gonna be your career, but you are so exposed into whatever it is. That's natural. So coming back to your questions, like it's you or it's the outside. It's a combination. I would say 50-50. Something is built into it about survivalism, brain and stuff, and something is about external pressure. Because if they validate you, they fail as individuals.
Yeah.
If they say you are good, if the external environment is saying you are good, then what it means that I'm not. So there is a kind of a challenge. So if they validate you, they somehow are pushing themselves, or they believe, obviously, because it's not real, but they are pushing themselves out of their reality, their mental program, their mental processes, and saying, you cannot, so I'm safe.
Wow, it fascinates me a lot, this topic, because sometimes I always think about when you look at successful people, pretty much, let's say 80%, 80-20. 80% of them came from a not so easy environment, or an environment that wasn't easy on them, and then they became successful to gain that validation that they never had, or something like that. And the thing that fascinates me about this is has to always be like this, or yeah, as you said, if you were born like with parents like Steve Jobs and stuff like that, maybe we will be still be here.
That's difficult. That's also very, very difficult. Again, and we like difficult things.
Yeah.
And so for sure, if you come from a struggle, here, when I say here, I mean in Dubai, in the Middle East, what they used to say is this, in a line of this: tough period create strong leaders. Strong leaders create easy moment or beautiful moment or successful moment. Easy moment create weak leaders that creates tough time. So in a way,
Wow.
it's a kind of a cycle. And everything in history and life, it was cycle. Now we are living in a big transformational cycle, but everything is cycle. A plane is taking off and is landing. There's no way a plane can take off and stay for the time being. So everything is somehow is cyclical. Now, and this question fascinates me as well. It has to be that way. I'm not sure. What I'm trying to do, this is just, I'm reading, I'm studying, what I'm trying to do, first of all, as a parents has to be there. It's your responsibility. If you are a parent and you are listening, it's your responsibility. As a responsibility, I mean your ability to respond, not as something heavy. It's your responsibility to stay with your kids and balance between your professional life and their life. You choose to put them in this world. They didn't come in. So you have to, you have to sense, you need to have this. Try your best because it's difficult. I know I have 3. It's not easy. I did
all
3.
young.
Try your best. You're gonna fail. You're gonna miss. You're gonna be there. Obviously, we are humans, but it's your responsibility to take care of them. When I mean take care of them is not giving them an easy life as much as you can. Because if you give them an easy life without this, they're gonna become, they're gonna lose themselves. They're gonna lose them drive. They're gonna lose their ferocity because it's easy. And when the things are easy, you lazy. Well, when I mean lazy, I mean you do go down. So give them at least the tools, the exposures, the tools to think about who they are, their identity. Obviously, if you are again coming from someone that have the possibility to invest into you and to let you grow, also there is luck. Nothing to do with that. But what I do as much as I can is expose them to everything. Is that when they say to me, yeah, but they do too many things, or they don't have like a, no, that's not true. You expose them to everything they see, because in this way, with your support, again, don't expose them to everything and leave. They expose to everything and understand. And because in this exploration process, they will find what they want, what they need, who they are, what's drive them, what motivate them. And then they will stuck to something because they choose to be there. But again, it's not an easy process. You don't expose and leave. It's like I was actually reading something like, for example, the eldest son is doing tennis, is playing tennis. And I did a few trials, and now it's only tennis. But he chose, not me, not us.
Okay.
He chose. So one of the things is that he's starting slowly to go into the tournament. One of the mistakes that can be done there is that I expose to tournament, and then he understands, he validates, but then he's going to fail. And then he's coming back from this tennis match and you say, don't worry if you lost. It's okay. Don't worry. Yes and no. As a parent, and so as a coach, because I did the coaching as well to understand better how to work and play with my kids. As a parent, you should be like, what could you have done better during this match? Did you see what you did on this ball? Maybe you record them with the video. You watch the video with them and you say, you see, what would you have done? So why I'm saying this is an example, is tennis. But as a responsibility, again, as a parent, is not expose and leave. It's not give and leave. It's not do and leave. It's do and stay. Expose and stay. Try and stay. Because you are their accountability partner, their growth partner, their creation partner, their emotional support. You choose consciously to have them. So you are responsible for their growth. And I hope, because we'll never know, that even if I could say that they are growing up in an easier environment than me, I hope that with this tool and exploration, they can build something for themselves, aligned with themselves. I'm not obsessed by success, tennis.
Yeah.
When I see them 30 years from now, like we're going to have a beer together and it's going to be 2055. What are you doing there? So I hope, disclaimer, don't try this.
Yeah.
You can fail
Yeah.
miserable.
Yeah. Oh, it's really nice. Thanks for sharing that, because we know each other as I said initially, and I know you're and I see you being the father, wearing the father cap, and it's really different. I would say different from what I've seen. Not a lot of experience as I can say, but it's really different from what I've experienced and what I've seen around me. It really gives me yeah, kind of hope and kind of fascinating way of being a parent, because it's not easy. It's not easy. You're a father of 3, and go.
No, and you need to develop, because nobody. Also, the responsibility for us is I don't know what I don't know, and it's not a justification. I don't know what I don't know. Study thousands of video material, course, training. We live in the most abundant age of knowledge. Knowledge is a commodity like never before in the history of human civilization, as we know. Everything. We want to be a better parents, video training, courses, organization, association, everything. If you don't know what you don't know, study. And you're going to be, and you can be, because what is important is that I have, again, 3, that means 6. 3 different persons, like same, same family, same everything, same, nothing changed. 3 different persons. Now, do you have the capacity and the capability to listen what they say and not impose what you feel it's important for you as a person? Because if you don't listen, it's not only from here, it's from here, it's from here, it's from here. If you don't listen, you risk to impose something that is not aligned, and then to create pressure. And this pressure is going to be developed when you are 20, 25, 30.
Wow. Yeah. So to sum up, your parenting rules would be like, first one, make them challenge them a bit, and listen them.
Yeah, challenging. Yeah, the carrot and the stick.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks for that. Changing topic a bit from your beautiful family, what challenge or struggle has shaped you the most in your life, and how did you grow from it?
I would say this is maybe the first time that I share this. But
Okay.
one of the things that challenged me, it was during what's called in English secondary school, but in Italy it's called scuola media.
Mm-hmm.
So basically is year 6, 7, and 8, more or less, in the English system. Because I was put in a reality that was not mine. Because it was kind of high society, okay, with a lot of opportunities, or, by the way, higher opportunities than where I was coming from. I had a fantastic childhood, so also they're really content, never missed anything, and they were a few steps above. So an expensive pair of shoes, an expensive trip on the mountain, an expensive jacket, something that was, especially financially. By the way, possibilities in general, because they were going to private, some of them, they went to private schools, they had private tennis lesson, they had, and so on and so forth. And I was not there. I'm happy, but they were. And this challenged me a lot, because you are a kid and you don't know how to deal with it. What should I do now? Because I was the outlier. I was like the one with the shoes from the same, similar, but discount.
Yeah.
Or one jacket in 4 years instead of a jacket every 6 months. It gave me pressure. It gave me pressure, but it gave me opportunity at the same time, because that was challenging, and at the same time, it showed me a different perspective of life, and I wanted to taste that life. That's what pushed me to say, okay, I need to do something. So yeah, I feel that nothing extraordinary or nothing, huge, but this was one of the components that somehow put me in a spot of listening to myself and saying, one day I want to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And I tried, and
and you succeed.
well, again, what success? I don't. Yeah, that it's opening another. At least I tasted, I experienced it. I experienced what that means, and a part of it was like, okay, now I see it, I understand what it is, and this is what I want to get. Because every experience, we take what we want. Don't
Mhm.
don't take the full experience, but you test it, and now, okay, now I got it. This. Let me take. I embrace. Discard the rest. I'm gonna use this.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the concept of private victories. I heard one time. I don't remember from who or where I read it, but there is this concept of private victories in which in life it's okay and it's suggested, advisable to take a few private victories. That was referring back to your childhood when you felt in this kind of way, that kind of way, like okay, maybe one day I'll get it. Maybe one day go to a fancy restaurant, or I will have 2 jackets per year, not one per year. And it gives you a boost of energy, of everything.
Thing of confidence,
Yeah.
of which is also alignment. I love as well when I say confidence. It reminds me of this other beautiful big what's big, I don't know, pen. This beautiful book that I read, which is called Mental Toughness. Okay, and there are the 4 components, if I remember the whole 4 components. One is confidence, just said. One is control, one is commitment, and one is challenge. So confidence is the way you show up. Control is how you embrace your emotions, not control your emotions. Even if the word is control, but it's not controlling. You're not controlling your emotion, you're embracing your emotion. So, sea of control, challenge. We need challenges to thrive. Otherwise, we are plateau, and we don't like plateau and easy life.
Yeah, we said it.
Yeah, exactly. So, challenge and commitment. You have to be, not from the outside, committed.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the 4 C's. One time you told me about that. Very nice. Mental toughness. Thanks
Mental
for that.
tough.
I will add in the description all the books. And last question that I would like to ask you before you came back to all your stuff, especially being a father. If you could be known for one idea, impact, or a contribution to this world,
Mm.
what would it be?
It's coming like straight to my mind, which is like the magic alignment. What it is,
Yeah.
that is. So there are two components of the magic alignment definition. One is a kind of irony of things, because also here, according to my mom, I am a mechanical engineer without even studying one day. Okay, which I don't know, like it's magic.
Yeah.
I don't know, like from when this knowledge came to me, it's magic. So obviously there is an irony there.
You're
Nobody
aligned.
see, nobody sees what you do to reach a place. Okay, it's like you are lucky. It's like it's mad. No, it's not. I was studying. I was going out to the university. I was reading. I was, so it's magic. But there is a magic component, because if you do something that is aligned, it comes to you like magic. So if I went for another kind of training, low, let's say that I want to, that maybe was not that easy for me because I'm not able to read long hours. Then you train also that everything can be trainable. So the fact that you're born in a way doesn't mean that you die in a way. You can train. But at that time, I didn't like to read like bam, distracting, confusing. So if I was going for a low firm or for a low education, maybe I would have failed miserable. Instead, I did mechanical engineering. It seems like magic.
Yeah.
No. And at the same time, also there, the magic alignment is very, very personal because we are like, what should I do? So this is what I want to be known for, the magic alignment. It's your life. It's your journey. You have your set of values, of education, of principle, of purpose. It's you. It's not me. What I did, if you do what I did, maybe you feel miserable. And if I do what you did, maybe I feel miserable. You know who you are. So be obsessed for understanding and working on who you are. There are methodology, methods, training, but be there, be obsessed. Also because we didn't touch about this, but AI is another big stuff happening. We're not going to be defined by what we do, but more and more, we have to be defined by who we are. So the magic alignment is this. I wake up in the morning, I'm aligned. I have an input coming from the outside world. We have multiple stimulus per minute, per day. And whatever I process, whatever is coming in, whatever I do is aligned with what is my action, my reaction. So I want to be known for the magic alignment.
The magic alignment. You also wrote a book about this.
Book is a big word. It's a collection of thoughts. Let's be a bit more. I'm not the expertise to write a book. I never did kind of a career or a profession. There are people, doing only that.
Yeah.
That's coming a proper academic or a proper research. It's a collection of thoughts. When I went out from the corporate and I moved to entrepreneurship, what I felt, what was my realization, what I did, blah, 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 what's my next thing that I want to do, a collection of thoughts. Yeah, it's called The Magic Alignment. It's available on Amazon.
Yeah, we'll put the links in the description and everywhere. A few things that I would like to share about the magic alignment. How do you know yourself? Because it's not it's
not easy, right? It's not easy.
we are speaking only of challenging things.
It's fun because challenge is fun. Easy, I don't know if that's fun. So it's challenging. It requires time. And we are all pressurized by the fact that it should happen tomorrow. Like the magic alignment, I'm going to start today. Tomorrow is ready. And unfortunately, I don't have the magic wand. I don't feel wand or wand. I don't know, whatever the English. I'm not an English.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. So it's a process. There are different methodology. I discovered it through coaching. I went coaching myself for myself first, and then I loved the process and I moved into being a coach. But I feel coaching is one, and find your own way. You don't know, but it's what you like. Meditation, do meditation. Breathwork. You like a hunter. You know that I come from a family of hunters as well. And there was a moment of family meditation. They didn't call it that way, but we were going out there 3 a.m. in the morning with the family. My grandfather, the hunter, was kind of a majlis, how they would call it here in Dubai. It was the family grouping, 3 a.m. in the morning at the coffee, speaking about what was the strategy to be there, the place, what to do or not to do, where should I go. And then define the position, it was kind of a chess game. And then you go there, it's dark, nobody see each other, you move, you go under the trees, you're ready for the morning, and then action. And then you are there. Complete silence, nighttime, maybe it's raining, maybe it's cold and you are there and you listen. And while it seems, well, first of all, it is kind of a tribal things, but I feel there's a lot of value from primitive and tribal things because you are with your feet on the ground and you listen and you respect more nature. Like for my kids, for your generation, for our generation, chicken is a plastic box in a supermarket.
Yeah.
For me, a bird, it was an alive stuff that I was going there while it was almost dead, and it was tribal, it was cruel, it was. If I think now, it's like,
Yeah.
and it teach you respect. It teach you what it means for an animal to suffer for us.
Hmm.
Now, why I'm saying this, I don't know, but I love that experience. Going to your question of how do you find out, go cycling 1 hour, and maybe something will come to your mind.
You liking it? Okay. You're not liking it. Skip. Don't do cycling anymore.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, ask yourself why I'm not liking it. Is what
Okay.
is the effort? Is the suffer? So I cannot suffer. So that's a limitation. Why?
Questioning yourself.
Question yourself. Questioning, not judge. Question.
No. Do you have a set of questions that you ask yourself daily?
Why? And for some of us can put pressure, because why is the first question that we receive from our parents. Like, why you did that? Why you did that? Why you did that? Why
Yeah.
you did that? And you feel like, leave me alone. But if you do consciously to yourself and you ask yourself why, especially the 5 whys, like why, you go to the root of the things, and then you are like, now I got it.
Wow. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna read a quote that I was reading the other day, and somehow I think it's connected to what we were saying and what we said in this hour and 6 minutes. Let me know what comes up to your mouth. So the quote is from Albert Schweitzer, and it says, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you will be successful." Yeah, I think it's really related to your concept of alignment, because yeah,
Yeah, it's natural if you love what you do. And I know sometimes can seem cliche. Okay, it's like, yeah, I know. If only I knew what was my passion, that would be easy. I know, can seem cliche, but move out from the cliche and take care of your life. Not of the cliche. Take care of your life. Take care of your life. It's like what we do with ChatGPT. Most of us, what they do, they go on ChatGPT and they go there and say, it's not working. I asked the movie stuff and it's not working. Well, don't use there. Use it for what you need.
yes, super. Thank you, Costantino. It was a very, very beautiful chat that we had. As I said, I always wanted to have it with you.
I'm
So
challenging you since 3 years to do this.
yeah, I start. Um, I'm challenging myself as well. So really, thank you for what you said. Thank you for the impact you're leaving in this life on myself first. So really, I'm here also for what you did, and the words you put in place are very, very powerful, and I relate with the magical alignment that you want to live here on this world. So thank you.
With love.